my viewers, welcome back to my channel Historical Discussion. Good morning to all. As I told you yesterday that I would discuss about Suri dynasty. So today I have brought a video on Suri dynasty. This dynasty was founded by Sher Shah Suri. He had two successors. As you can see, the flow chart is in front of you. The Suri dynasty from 1545 till 1555. Sher Shah Suri from 1540 till 1545. Salim Shah from 1545 till 1553. And Adil Shah from 1553 till 1555. So, at first, we are going to discuss about its founder. Founder is Sher Shah Suri. Right now, I'm going to discuss about his early career. Sher Shah Suri, who deserved the credit of overthrowing the Mughal dynasty in 1540 AD. Yes, and he is counted among the great rulers who ever reigned in India. His original name was Farid Khan. His father Hasan Khan was a Jagirdar of Sasaram in Bihar. During the reign of Bahlol Lodi, that means during 1451 till 88, his ancestors, or we can say grandfather, Ibrahim Suri, had migrated to India from Afghanistan. Farid was born in 1472 AD at Bhajwara in Hoshiarpur district. In his early childhood, Farid was almost neglected because his father had not cordial relation with his mother. He was a slave in the hands of one of his father's youngest wife. So Farid soon got disgusted with his father, and in 1494 he had to leave his house. So he left his house and he went to Jaunpur, which was a great seat of Islamic learning in those days. There, he fully engaged himself to the acquisition of knowledge and very soon got proficiency both in Arabic and Persian. Great works of Persian like Gulistan, Bostan, and Sikandar-Nama were soon at his fingertips. Because of his exceptional talents, he caught the eyes of his father's patron, Jamal Khan, who was the then governor of Jaunpur. And on his initiative, a reconciliation was brought about between the father Hassan and the son Farid, and the former even appointed Farid as the manager of his Jagir. For full 21 years, from 1497 to 1518, he managed his, that means Sher Shah Suri has managed his father's Jagir very successfully, and he won great reputation as an honest and good administrator. This experience stood him in good stead when later on he became the Emperor of India. So, Farid's successful management of the Jagir naturally rose the jealousy of his stepmother, who once again drove him into exile in 1588. This time, he went to Bihar and took up service with Bahar Khan Lohani, who was the then governor of Bihar. By his service and devotion, he greatly impressed his master. Once, Sher Khan was accompanied with his master in a hunting expedition, and there he killed a tiger. And thus won the title of Sher Khan. His master was so pleased with his work that he was appointed as the deputy governor of southern part of Bihar. The rise of Sher Khan rose the jealousy of various Afghan and Lohani nobles who conspired against him, and in 1526 AD he was forced to resign and seek his fortune somewhere else. He then went to Agra and joined the army of Babur. For about 2 years, that means from 1527 till 1528, that means Sher Khan, remained with Babur, and then he noticed the Mughal military organization and its defects very carefully. As Babur was getting suspicious about him, so he he slipped away from there and once again went back to South Bihar. As Bahar Khan Lohani was now dead, so Sher Shah Suri was appointed as the tutor and guardian of his son Jalal Khan. Jalal Khan was a minor, so all the real power was in the hands of Sher Khan. When Jalal Khan got tired of his guardian, he sought the help of Nusrat Shah of Bengal to set him himself free. But Sher Khan defeated both of them in 1529 and became an independent ruler of Bihar. Sher Khan was a very ambitious man, and so he could not feel contented with the province of Bihar alone. He wanted to turn the Mughals out of India and to re-establish the Afghan supremacy in India. He moved very cautiously for the realization of his aim. So in 1530 AD, as you can see is written over in front of you all. So in 1530 AD, he got the fort of Chunar by marrying Lad Malik, who was the widow of its late ruler Taj Khan. In 1532, when Humayun marched against him, he very carefully offered submission. He very carefully offered submission and thus very cleverly evaded any direct conflict with the Mughal, as Sher Shah Suri was not as yet prepared for that. Then he turned his attention towards Bengal and conquered it in 1537. So in 1537, Sher Khan conquered Bengal. When Humayun marched against Sher Khan, he once again eluded him and allowed him to occupy Bengal and himself retired to Rohtashgarh. Soon he reoccupied Bihar and Jaunpur and plundered the Mughal territories up to Kannauj. In 1539 AD, Sher Khan defeated Humayun in the Battle of Chausa and he became the undisputed ruler of Bengal and Bihar. And in the very next year, that means in 1540, during the Battle of Kannauj, he defeated Humayun at Kannauj and became the all-powerful master of India. Other conquest. After his accession to the throne, Sher Shah did not rest but continued conquering one state after the other. In 1541, he attacked Punjab and conquered it from Kamran, Humayun's younger brother, without any difficulty. In 1542, he occupied Malwa when its ruler Qadir Shah submitted of his own. Might be he was being afraid of Sher Shah's rising power. In 1543, the Rajput fort of Raisen was captured and a large number of Rajputs were put to the sword. In 1543, from 1543 till 1544, Multan and Sindh were also added to the empire of Sher Shah. In 1544 AD, an expedition in 1544 AD, an expedition was sent against the powerful Rajput ruler Maldev Rathor of Marwar, and his capital Jodhpur was besieged by Sher Khan. When all methods of conquering it failed, Sher Khan resorted to treachery and managed to divide the enemy and weaken them. His plan no doubt proved successful, but the Rajput cavalry made such a desperate attack on his army that he narrowly escaped. He was impressed by the Rajput valor, bravery. He at once exclaimed, I had nearly lost the empire of Hindustan for a handful of bajra, that is millet. Then Sher Khan paid his attention towards Mewar, and in 1544, Sher Khan easily won Chittor and Ajmer. Sher Khan led his last expedition against the Rajput fort of Kalinjar in Bundelkhand. When all methods of capturing the fort proved futile, Sher Shah ordered the walls of the fort to be blown up by the gunpowder. But as luck would have it, he himself was wounded by the explosion of mine on 22nd May 1545, and Sher Shah Suri died a little later. The fort was, however, occupied at a great cost. So thus, within a short period of 5 years, Sher Shah Suri laid down the foundation of a vast empire which extended from the Brahmaputra in the east to the Jhelum river in the west, and from the Himalayas in the north to the Narmada river in the south. Roughly, it included almost the whole of northern part of India except Assam, Kashmir, northwestern frontier province and Gujarat. So my viewers, that's all for today. Tomorrow I'm going to bring Tomorrow I'm going to discuss about Sher Shah's administration and his reforms. By the time, stay at home, stay safe, Allah Hafiz, and thank you so much for watching my videos.